ladies and gentlemen. Check engine lights on. You know what that means. Time for an update video. Today we're going to dive into the 67 C10 and show you what was going on with that last week. And we got a new ride in the shop. We're going to dive into that. That's a 51 Willys, so stay tuned for that shit. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, as always, it's a glorious Monday morning, and I've already had my coffee, so now it's on the water. So, as always, pinkies out, pinkies up, you know. This one's for you guys. Last week we dove into the 67 here, and I talked to the owner, and when we're doing all this metal work and stuff, the owner, he was excited about what we were doing as far as the customization and fabrication and all that stuff. And he already owns another vehicle that he wishes he would have done more to, or had more attention to certain areas. So he told us that he didn't want any regrets with this truck. So as you can see, if you notice something a little bit different on the roof here, that's because it's fucking gone. When we talked, I had to make the decision because there were some areas of the roof skin that freaked me out a little bit. Now, if you flip it over, everything, you know, it looks good. You know what I'm saying? Everything seems to look good, but there was areas of concern. We had some pinholes and shit that were happening right in here. And there was some areas of up underneath in here that was all rusted and shit. And with the conversation we had, I made the decision. We had a long, hard talk. Randy and Melanie and we all decided that no regrets mean we're cutting this son of a bitch off. So that's what happened. And I talk about the metal treatment process that we do. While I'm talking about this, we're going to shoot on some pictures in the video that shows you exactly what we found when we took this off. If you're not following us on YouTube, we did put a reel on that last week of us pulling this off. And when it did not look this good, let's put it that way. You can see up here, pretty much any spot that's black has this dark color. That was rust. And this is what we found when we came in here. So this actually sits in here and comes across, and obviously we can't have this. So this whole area was rusted and pitted and all that stuff. So we cleaned everything up, and we have the treatment on right now. It is finally dried and everything. But like I said, we're going to put on some pictures. Basically, in all these areas that's black now, which is the converted rust, is not what looked basically just like this. I mean, it was a fucking shit show, to say the least. So you can see this whole area in here was nothing but rust. We actually came in and we shaped and formed this entire piece and put a new piece in here because it was that bad. Also, while we were in here, this was a base model C10, so it didn't even have this hole opening for the other sun visor. So we ended up cutting a hole in that and putting that in while we were in here. But you can see this whole area was nothing but rust. You can see all the little black spots of rust that if we didn't take this off and this thing made it to Hawaii, this would have been a regret. How about that? And like I said, we weren't shooting for regrets with this. Now, here's the new piece. So this will give you an idea of where we're going to be at. So we went from this to that. You know what I mean? I mean, this is just complete rusted through. This is just a cancer that has to be addressed. So when we ended up taking this piece off, you know, it was just ridiculous. I'll flip this lid back over so you can see. So as you can see, those tiny little holes that I was concerned with, you can see this whole fucking area is nothing but that rust that I was talking about. So these are the concerns that we're thinking about constantly. And like I said, no regrets on this one. So we ended up coming in here and cutting this off, and you know, we're able to get down in here and actually treat everything down in here. We're actually able to treat the A-pillars and everything down in through here. We're going to come in with a reformer sealer system on top of this. We got one more little cleaning to do, but just wanted to bring you in to all this. And we also added some more stability in here because we're going to pull the cab off. And before we pulled the cab off, we had to do this. We have a brand new skin, just came in. So that's what's in this box over here. Is a brand new skin. Ended up having to go to Ohio to grab this, but Summit hooked us up, which was nice of them, and you'll end up seeing that going back on. We're going to call the client and we're going to make a decision on what we're going to do with the drip rails, which reminds me, I'll show you what the drip rails look like. So you can see we cleaned up the drip rail while we were in there. We had to take the drip rail off, and you know, that's what's sitting in there. You know, 95% of your old vehicles, you got a rust situation in at the pinch welds and shit. And you know, if you're not tearing that pinch welds apart, that's what you're getting. It'll last for a lot longer and all that stuff, but we're trying to make I don't want paint to start bubbling. I don't want to start having issues down the line. So as far as the cab goes, we welded in some more area in the firewall, and we are ready to start pick this damn thing up off of here once we get the top on, and once we figure out if we're gonna remove the drip rail and make it a nice smooth edge, or what we're gonna do. We got some ideas, but I'm gonna talk to the client first. So this week coming up, we're going to be back on the Riviera. We're going to start welding shit into place, the firewall and the whole 9 yards. But last week was basically concentrating on that top. So stay tuned for that. Now, you know the 49 Diamond T's out of here, and now we got a 51 Willys in here. This bad boy, we're getting all of the house wiring out of it. As you can see, that's what you put in this shit, you know, to upgrade. It's fucking house wiring, you know. So we had to get rid of some house wiring. We're going to come in. We're going to do our touches on this. We're going to clean some shit up, get it running. The distributor was locked up, which is always a good time. So a little bit of penetrant oil and a little bit of hammer and twist in action, and boom, we're squared away. But you can see up here, we're getting all the wiring squared away. We're getting new wiring in this whole thing. This thing ran and drove when it come in. Fires off every time. It's pretty badass. We're going to clean some shit up. We're going to paint a little bit. We're not pulling the engine or anything, but we're just going to make this thing more of a user-friendly type of atmosphere when it comes to drivability and shit like that. The body wasn't bolted on 100%. Some of the bushings were missing and shit, so we're throwing in some bushings and stuff like that. We're just gonna just get this thing up and running. The body needed to shift it a little bit because you couldn't even get it into high or low gear and four-wheel drive, just because the body was back and cocked a little bit. But that's what we bring this shit for. But as you can see, this is a what the hell do they call this? A CJ3A, I believe, is what it is. Yeah, it's a CJ3A, and this thing's a pretty cool little piece. Let me bring this down. Grab that wire right there, Randy, just so you can get a feel for it. You know, just so you can see what it is. You know, that 49 Diamond T, that was kind of a tribute to the troops type of deal. This thing obviously is a straight tribute to the World War II era, which is pretty badass. This thing's cooler than shit. There's the seats back here. Like I said, we're just getting this thing up and going, and make it more user friendly, and then go from there. I'm not sure what we're gonna do with the gauges and shit yet. We're talking about upgrading them, putting new ones in. There's just little shit that we want to do to it, but we're not going too crazy with this. and then we're gonna get some video of this driving around and all that happy horse shit for you guys. This is actually ours. This is actually I.B.F.HotRods Willys, and like I said in another clip, our plan is to just get this thing up and more user friendly, and then we're going to put a for sale tag on it. So if anybody's interested in this thing after it's all said and done, reach out, you know. But yeah, that's about it for this week. Stay tuned for all things I.B.F.HotRods related. We just wanted to get on here and give you a touch of what's going on and give you a little introduction into this Willys, and go from there. So stay tuned. This video will be dropping sometime this week, obviously. So here's you guys. See you guys soon. Peace out.